And let me introduce myself a little bit more. And so uh, I worked as an engineer over 10 years, and I also worked at sales marketing people over 10 years. And then uh, now recently I focus on the education to increase MoIP network engineers. So because especially in Japan, there also lack of one of the issue is a lack of the MoIP engineer, media over IP. So I mean the SD21 tape based network. And so I have my own company, and and then now targeting area is IP network infrastructure and AI interpretation and translation. So recently, all about the AI, right? So even me, no exception. So and I've designed a lot of commercial MoIP network for broadcasting so far. And the goal of this presentation, so first, target audience is MOIP intermediate network managers, architects, and engineers. So anybody had experience with design MOIP network? Okay. Yeah, yeah. Not IP, MOIP, SD21 tape based, as using the multicast technology. But yeah, yeah, I know you have a lot of experience. Okay, but so don't worry about it. So you can follow my Twitter. Recently X, and so it provides basic information about the MOIP network, and so you can also watch a YouTube video. For the beginners. And the goal of this presentation is that you can get some tips to solve your issue when you face some similar cases. So let's move on the first topic, MIP network design flow. So uh, the design flow is very similar as a software design flow. So based on the software engineering, so so design, implementation, and verification. And I think the design is the most important. So because the good design makes good high quality of the network, and but the so bad bad design makes lots of trouble, right? And so I need to assume, as we need to assume as agile development rather than the waterfall. So so when I start to work in 1990s, the development flow is all about the water flow. We first fix the specification and then implement program and then verification. So step by step. But recently, the flow is a more flexible, and it's called agile. Because first spec is not fixed. It is very difficult. So we can. It is hard to prospect future issues, future problem, future error. If we develop the complicated network, and it's impossible to this is impossible to predict 100% future problem, and so we need to assume the spec will be changed when fixing issues. Especially the verification phase. So we need to back design, and then we need to iterate as soon as faster as we possible. And this slide shows the very busy, and so we can see the previous presentation on YouTube, and one of the things is so different from the SDI based network. We need to consider about not only the physical network design but also the logical design, and bottom up design. Verifying the feasibility of the specs, specific functionality with minimal network configuration is likely to result in faster design verification convergence. And this showed one of the example of the MoIP network. Very simple, and lot of video, audio, intercom, devices is connected with switches, and switches are composed of those, based on the spine leaf network architectures. And ST2110, ST2059 PTP is deployed, and with boundary crack and best master clock algorithm. And the network is composed of the amber and blue redundant network, and also separated media and control plane is separated logically or physically. And then next topic is the design for extensibility. So John explained netbox, IP address management. But currently we I also love the list the yeah, spreadsheet, Excel sheet. So now I also manage with the Excel sheet, and assign the specific IP address to the each node. And when we assign when I assign the IP address, first I make a IP addressing guideline for the customer, and then allocate the IP address to the each nodes and the switches. So because the facility might be enhanced and extended when business grows, and so the management of IP addressing and IP address allocation will be very important. So maybe in the near future we can use netbox, right? I'm not sure. And this is one of the example of the IP addressing guideline. So we use IPv version 4 private address, and assign the class C addresses to the to manage the control port of each nodes. And in this case, third octet to identify the which facility. One is for the Studio A, 2 and 3 for the Studio B, and similar the other private address assigned to the media nodes, media ports for the media nodes, and also the network switches, and multicast address is assigned to the such rules. So rule is depend on the company and their policies, but I recommend we need to define the guideline, even using the networks, because if I know the address based on the such guideline, we can identify which one is which this address is from this nodes. We can easy to understand, and we can easy to debug if we face on the issues. And yeah, skip this one. Let me see. Okay, and the number of the IP address are limited, and John's presentation may be DNS. I know the DNS and the DHCP will make it more efficient and easier, but at this moment and current situation, it's still better for debugging if we assign them manually at this moment. And ideally, the broadcasters and in term MoIP network will be the best to design from scratch. However, the reality, MoIP network will also proceed from the bottom up, starting from some facilities. So not whole facility. One studio change to the IP based, but the other studios is still the SDI based. And one of the tips is do not assign the /30 subnet address too packed. So we can assign the kind of that packed addresses no reserved without reserved area. But I recommend you if you assign the IP address, you assign the reserved area, because sometimes the verification phase, as I said, sometimes the specification and changed if we face on the issue. That I have a lot of experience with such a case, as a lot of issue, and okay, change the IP address, but we try to change the IP address as small a part as we can. This slide showed and one more tip says assign similar devices to nearby address areas. Such cases, a camera assigned to such 10.1.2, 10.2, and one more camera is the 6 and the 10. So nearby address, and if sometimes issue happened, we can change to such address area. I will talk about the next slide, and create an area using power of 2 of 4th octet IP address, and assign the addresses to each equipment, assuming netmax /30. So this is one of the example I faced on. So issue is some of the existing equipment in the same company needs to speak with proprietary starting from the 239 Marchcast group address. To detect each equipment. So uh, this is out of the range of the 2110 specification, but some of the equipment still remained such as the auto detection protocol. So one of the solution is uh, one of the solution is use L2 switching to expand the broadcast domain. So L3 connection is broadcasting domains, separated from each connection. But L2 switch is broadcast domain is expand to the all of the cameras. So it this is one of the solution to fix such kind of issue. And the next topic is the design for the debuggability. Oh, I have. Oh, okay. I need to for fast. Okay, and so debuggability in verification phase. So debugging and monitoring environment. When developing media over IP network can increase productivity and certain turnaround time. It's important to use SMP or logging to detect errors after the design. But to build a highly reliable network, it's more important improve the quality during design and development. But first tips is to manage and to monitor the and to debug the network design. We need remote access. So you can design you can design anywhere and anytime. I'm not sure it's happy or unhappy. And media over IP network design and the verification often takes several months. So I don't want to spend several months in a cold and noisy machine room. So first I make such a kind of remote access environment. And the next tip says connect to Wireshark. You know the Wireshark? Okay, and packet capture software, and so you can debug when you debug the network. You can see the point of the status with network command show or display, but it's difficult to understand the time sequence. So Wireshark is one of the way to show the time sequence to debug in case of the Marchcast stream don't work. Yeah, so I sometimes need to monitor IGMP and the PIM packets. So some often use the Wireshark. Of course, so there are some are dedicated monitoring equipment, but I have I have limited budget, so I use such kind of free tool and affordable solution. Oh, and this shows IGMP and PIM Marchcast routing. So maybe you can see that's right there. Because sometimes PIM packet is not issued from the router. So we need to so monitor the so packets by wire check and solve it. Okay. Conclusion. So the so presentation so have provided you so MIB network design flow and the design for extensibility and the design for debuggability. So I hope this help you to build your MoIP network design, and that's it. So see you again next time in Las Vegas. Thank you very much.